Franz Kafka, The Metamorphosis. Dive into the surreal journey of Gregor Samsa, a young traveling salesman who wakes up one day, only to find himself transformed into a monstrous insect. In Franz Kafka's The Metamorphosis, you'll explore the struggles and challenges that Gregor and his family face as they come to terms with his bizarre transformation. This classical novel powerfully portrays the themes of alienation, family dynamics, and the consequences of change, allowing you to witness human nature at its rawest form. Embark on this captivating and thought-provoking read, and be ready to question the underlying emotions and decisions that shape each character's reality.
Kafka's Metamorphosis. Gregor Samsa, a traveling salesman, wakes up one day to find himself transformed into a bug. Despite his new body, his primary concern is being late for work and facing his angry boss. As he lies in bed, he reflects on the superficial nature of his job and relationships with clients. Kafka's Metamorphosis depicts themes of isolation and the human struggle to find purpose in a world that values productivity over individuality. Gregor's Metamorphosis. Gregor wakes up to find himself transformed into a bug, unable to communicate or move normally. His family does not understand what has happened to him and assumes that he is sick and has not gone to work on time. When the chief clerk from his firm shows up at the house to investigate why Gregor has not gone into work, it becomes clear that Gregor is unable to perform even the most basic human functions. His family, initially shocked and frightened, soon grows hostile towards him. They use a stick to drive him back into his room and later close the door on him as if he were a dangerous beast. As the hours tick by, Gregor grows weaker and weaker, and the sweetened milk and bread that are left for him offer him no comfort. The story raises questions about our humanity and how easily it is lost, as Gregor's family and even the chief clerk are quick to abandon him when he becomes something other than what they expected. Gregor's transformation. Gregor's sudden transformation into an insect causes him to adapt to his new condition while maintaining his duties to his family. Gregor wakes up in excruciating pain on the first night of his metamorphosis. His legs were injured during a confrontation with his father. He hides under the couch, which makes him feel safer. Although Gregor's primary concern is his family, he must work hard to feed them and pay off his father's apprenticeship debt to his boss. Gregor adapts to his new condition and decides to be patient and make the situation more bearable for his family. Grete brings Gregor food regularly, which he enjoys. However, he is sad that she never talks to him and is disgusted by his new appearance. Whenever Grete enters the room, Gregor hides under the couch to avoid scaring her. Although Gregor is happy that he can still help his family, he struggles with the emotional impact of his transformation. Moreover, his family's attitude towards him makes it difficult for him to adapt to his new life. In summary, Gregor's transformation highlights the challenges that Gregor faces after his metamorphosis and how he copes with his new condition while maintaining his responsibilities to his family. Gregor's isolation and a bug's freedom. After Gregor's father's business collapsed, he has been retired for 5 years, spending his days reading newspapers. Despite intending to pay for sending his sister to the conservatory, Gregor realizes that she shortens her visits to his room, where he remains hidden under a couch, as eating has rounded out his body. Although Grete pulls the window open, Gregor needs human closeness. Crawling around like a bug, he enjoys moments of freedom and happiness. In Franz Kafka's The Metamorphosis, the protagonist, Gregor, faces isolation caused by his bug-like transformation and his family's repulsion towards him. The snippet from the book delves into Gregor's current situation as he spends his days hidden under a couch in his home, completely dependent on his family for survival. His feeling of entrapment is evident as he desperately craves human closeness, at times enjoying a strange kind of freedom when he crawls around the ceiling and furniture. The passage also explores the strained relationship between Gregor and his sister, who seems to be his only ally in his current state. The family's disgust towards Gregor's condition, coupled with his physical limitations, present a stark contrast to his previous life, where he was the sole breadwinner. The summary portrays the primary concerns addressed in the book excerpt, focusing on Gregor's struggle to adapt to his current reality, which seems to be harsh and unforgiving. Gregor's heartbreak. Leaning against the door, Gregor listens to his family's conversations and realizes his existence as a repulsive insect has become the new norm. One day, he discovers his father has money left from bankruptcy. However, the money isn't enough to provide for a carefree life. Gregor wanted to spare his family from poverty, but it breaks his heart to learn they still struggle financially. His father works at a bank, his mother sews and works from home, and Grete has a job as a shop assistant. Gregor's self-sacrifice seems pointless to him now. Grete's newfound control. Gregor's sister, Grete, becomes the authority figure in the family following Gregor's transformation into a bug. She restricts who can see him and takes charge of his care. Feeling empowered by her new role, she decides to remove furniture from his room so he can move around more freely but cannot do it alone and enlists their mother's help. This means that the mother sees Gregor for the first time since his transformation. While Gregor regrets this turn of events, he is also relieved that his mother did not see him sooner. Gregor's desperate escape. As Grete moves furniture out of his room, Gregor hides under his sheet, feeling close to his mother but also wary. He treasures certain items, like a picture of a lady in a fur coat, and enjoys hanging from the ceiling. When his mother leaves briefly, Gregor seizes the opportunity to climb up the wall and press himself against the picture's glass. But just as he does, his mother returns, causing Gregor to panic. Tragedy of Gregor. Gregor's family turns against him after he undergoes a metamorphosis overnight, becoming a giant insect. His mother faints at the sight of him while his sister Grete becomes angry and aggressive towards him. His father returns from work and throws apples at him, one lodging in Gregor's back and causing unbearable pain. Despite his attempts to help, his family sees him as a burden and drives him back into his room. As he crawls back into his isolation, his mother begs for his life. The tragedy of Gregor's transformation ultimately leads to his alienation and rejection by his family. Metamorphosis of a family. After a traumatic incident, Gregor's immobility allows his family to evolve from their struggles. In Franz Kafka's The Metamorphosis, Gregor Samsa awakens one morning to find himself transformed into a monstrous insect. In the weeks that follow, Gregor experiences physical and emotional pain, losing mobility and becoming an invalid. However, despite his family's initial shock, they begin to adapt to their new reality. Gregor's wound prompts a change in the way his family thinks, as they start to identify more with their challenging economic situation. His father no longer removes his uniform at home, his mother does sewing work late into the night, and his sister begins to learn shorthand and French, hoping to move up the career ladder. The family's financial struggles are highlighted when they sell some family jewelry, and Gregor overhears them discussing the prices they obtained. Meanwhile, Grete, Gregor's sister, who initially cares for him, begins to neglect him as his room becomes filthier. However, his immobility allows him to listen to his family's dinner conversation, giving him insight into their changing priorities. Through their struggles, the family evolves, but Gregor is left feeling lonelier and more of an outcast than ever before. The tragic demise of Gregor. Gregor, a man who has undergone a metamorphosis, is all alone, except for his yearning for music. When his family's tenants spot him, they are disgusted, and his father attempts to block their view, leading to further chaos. This leads Gregor to realize he is a source of horror. Eventually, he dies, and his family takes a trip, leaving behind their old lives, to plan a future for Grete. The story of Gregor's transformation is a tragic one. He is isolated from his family and viewed as an animal by all who see him. The only thing that brings him joy is music, which he longs for but cannot enjoy. When the tenants discover him, things become worse for him, and he realizes that he is not like others. His death, at the end of the story, is a release from his suffering. Meanwhile, his family finds a way to move on from their distressing past and plan for what they can control, Grete's future. The story of Gregor is a bleak one, but it teaches us that life is unpredictable and tough. Sometimes we are forced to face circumstances beyond our control and must make difficult decisions that we never imagined we would have to. Gregor is a symbol of hopelessness, but his family finds strength in their ability to look forward and create a new future. Though the family's attitude towards Gregor is cruel and harsh, it is indicative of the way humans can sometimes treat one another. Despite this, the story is ultimately about how people can heal and move on from tragedy.
The journey through the Metamorphosis leaves a lasting impression as we witness Gregor Samsa's struggle adapting to his new existence, while observing his family's reactions and their eventual detachment. Through the lens of Kafka's masterpiece, readers experience an astonishing exploration of themes like alienation, family dynamics, and the impact of unforeseen changes. Reflect upon the challenges Gregor endures and how his family copes with their new reality. As we bid farewell to this intriguing tale, we're compelled to ponder our actions, the responsibilities we hold towards our family and loved ones, and the factors that can completely upend our very existence.